What? Hi. Oh, I'm probably should turn the heat off. Mango, mango. Morning, Bill.
Hi, David. How are you this morning?
I'm well, thank you. You?
Good. I'm doing all right here. Yeah.
Well, that's good. The two ladies just arrived outside, so they'll be in a minute.
Okay, good.
And
And
Bill's still in Istanbul.
Istanbul or Constantinople, as the song went.
Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah. Uh,
Uh,
Oh, my money. Let it back up. Money there, right?
hmm.
Yeah. I like the car, so you'll take on person if you need to. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yep, not now. Let's break. Hello, sorry we're late a little bit.
It's all right.
We do the best
we're-
we can, as
we're-
you know.
Yes.
This was it today.
Well,
My granddaughter, grandkid left their glasses last night, so I had to like, glasses, are they, where I'll put them outside.
uh,
Hey,
what fun.
what, just a little.
How are you doing?
Yesterday I was visiting my mom, Dave, so
Ah,
I do all the driving.
yeah.
And it's hours and hours.
Which is, it's fine, but
But it takes a toll.
it takes a toll.
Yeah. So, Bill's here. The other Bill is
Where's the other bill? He wasn't there last year.
Istanbul.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Turkey.
Nice.
It's gone a long way
I was
for an
there.
excuse.
I'm sure.
What did you say,
It's
Bill?
gone quite a long way for an excuse to miss class.
Indeed. And I just say that Adam apparently is still looking at the videos. He's still
Wow.
paying for class but he's been extremely busy. So
Yeah, the healthcare system's not easy these days.
uh,
It's not easy anyway, but
nope.
right now it's.
Yeah, well, and trying this, if he's working for a shift, this is his work time.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah,
for a
he
while he could kind of, get into the office and close the door, but
Yeah.
it's been a long time since that's happened.
I don't think he can do that
I don't
anymore.
think so either, yeah.
I don't know, there was something about combining units and I don't know what.
Yeah, we're always changing.
Where, what hospital is he in?
Yale.
He's at Yale, New Haven, yeah. So, in the middle of it.
So let us begin. Questions?
Well, luckily I watched the recording. I was like, whoa. You all had all sorts of good discussions and yeah, so. I mean, I don't always, because I feel like sometimes I always read it anyway, even when I've been in class, right? So I read it, but I was like, no, there's more to this. I can tell. So, yeah. I don't have any questions about it. I thought it was a helpful discussion.
Good. Anything for you, Bill?
No questions. I think I made some mini breakthroughs with my etheric body awareness.
Oh, good.
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 Mhm.
Anything for you, Carol?
I'm feeling fairly brain dead today.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, it was really good, and I have no, remember what.
My feelings are there. My mind is not.
Well, I'm just saying, I blew off a meeting yesterday, it never got into my calendars. It just-
Yep.
Carol, I've been there and done that.
Yeah.
Understand.
Well, and
The sun still came up and,
yeah.
And we can see it.
Had a pleasant day with my mom and my cousin and sisters, and
Yeah.
Good.
it was good.
That's important.
Yes. And John's doing another bouts of diarrhea and
Oh.
sleeping a whole lot.
Oh,
may or may not be a good thing.
right.
Wow.
So, mm, what's going
Yeah, life is a little complicated at times.
on? Yeah.
To say the least, yeah.
I have been practicing every day, which
Good.
makes the day easier to do with.
Mm. Yes, I was saying to Carol, I did not get to practice much last week. You know, you're at a conference with 3 other people and you're staying somewhere else and, you know, you're out 12 to 13 hours a day. At least minimum, you know, for 4
Yeah.
days, so. 5 days actually, when I count the train.
You
Yeah,
do
5
what
days.
you can do.
You do what you can do, do it when you come home, it's always there, I always come back to it,
Yep.
which is pretty amazing. That alone, make a little progress every day, try, anyway. Because
Absolutely.
even when you don't, I think the interesting thing about it, I don't know if you all have the same feeling, is that you never not, I mean, every day, even if you don't practice, there's a thought about it, there's a body awareness about it, there's a
Mm,
breathing when you're in the middle of
yeah,
that is kind of part of, you know, part of all of this. So I
Absolutely.
find that very, sustaining.
And it helps us move
And it helps us move.
yeah.
through the day.
And I do feel like, yeah, I probably take more chances than I should, just, you know, hauling things around the garden yesterday. And I'm like, yep, no, I have a sense of balance still. That's
Good.
important. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Hello.
Well, we're gonna keep going.
Good.
Mango is showing us how to do the empty step walking.
Kitty, they're really cool.
They are, they're very good. So in every form of Taoist Qigong, how to activate the lower Dantian is part of its procedures. And there are so many specific methods that can do it. But what I would say about activating the lower Dantian in gods is that you simply take all the openings and closings in your body and the energy from your toes, your fingertips, and your head, and the whole time you're doing gods, whenever you're stretching out, you're having the sense of the energy opening with your breath, going from the center, your lower dantian, to your periphery, your extremities. And when you're closing, when your arms are bending in, everything is coming back to the center, your lower dantian. And keep in mind, your body can do multiple things at one time, actually thousands of functions simultaneously. So don't get so focused on whether you're doing all of it or not. What you want to do is get a very, very regular rhythm of going from your 5 extremities to the dantian, and from your dantian to your extremities. And you could do this with reverse breathing, or you can do it with normal longevity breathing. It really doesn't matter. However, reverse breathing really will make it a little bit easier, because the closing of the abdomen and the way you do it will make it very much easier to get the qi from the legs to go up to your dantian. So if you'll stand. When I have enough room, eventually we'll do God, but we're gonna start with another exercise first.
Mhm.
So to begin with, establish your longevity breathing. So breathing into the dantian, sides, the lower, middle, and upper back, and even into the brain if you can. You're aware of connecting to the liver, spleen, kidneys, and heart as you do that. Let yourself move into reverse breathing. Now, bringing your arms up a little bit and using a simple bending and stretching movement. Get the center to periphery flow going in both directions, relating it to the bending and stretching. Maintain that rhythm. To whatever degree you can feel it, feel the chi in your fingertips, the crown of your head, and your toes. You want them to come into your lower dantian. You go from your lower dantian and repeat that until you have a clear and concrete feeling of your lower dantian. Then using the bending of your arms to cause the inside of your dantian to expand and contract. Doing a center to periphery action with your lower dantian. Keep your mind centered in your dantian as you start doing the center to periphery action. Eventually, your lower dantian starts to heat up. Once you have a concrete feeling of the chi in every single time that you open your lower dantian, and your chi shoots to the five extremities. Every single time you close your dantian, your extremities shoot to your lower dantian. And to keep that movement continuous until you start getting the sensation of heat in your lower dantian. It's not to a ridiculous extent. Just have to have that sense of heat or something that is very solid in your lower dantian. Let that grow. Regardless of everything else that you are doing in God, you continue to do this from the first movement to the last. This will help you to get your mind rooted in the lower Dantian. Your chi go from the center to the periphery and periphery to center, which will usually help you to power up. You get the energy and have that energy keep on increasing. But to do that, you have to make sure that the center of your Dantian remains stable. The trick to this is that you have to keep this thing going from the top and the bottom of your body to your lower Dantian the whole time you do God's. You're never going to lose awareness of your lower Dantian. The Chinese phrase is, your attention is at your lower Dantian. Go through all 6 movements. You would never want to lose this connection. Now let the arms relax down to your sides. When you're ready, begin to go into movement 2 of God's. So you need to change your posture. Right at the moment, the only task you have is you want to maintain your energy at the end of the 5 extremities of your body. It's both feet, both hands, and the crown of your head. You have to play with what Bruce called the density of the mind. So watch your mind, which will have a tendency to direct your chi either too strongly or too weakly to any one of your 5 extremities. And you don't feel the chi going equally to any extremity. That simply says that the energy inside your body is blocked somewhere. could be in the fingers or the head. Or a channel going to that finger that is blocked. Or you might sense that the feeling at the crown of your head or your toes is either dead or weak. And that means that the chi inside your body is weak. Or moving through it channels erratically. And you're trying to find the stability point. So the chi is moving evenly everywhere inside your body. The phrase in Tai Chi that says, one part moves, all parts move. One part stays still, all parts stay still. Now, if you find one of those places where one of your 5 extremities goes dead, slow your movement down and see if you can do whatever you can inside yourself to get the chi to that place so that you get all 5 of the extremities being equal. Now begin doing movement 3. Sensing all 5. Now, previously, your mind has learned how to inhabit your body. The question is, can your mind inhabit the whole of your body? And that might mean that at some point in the future, if you realize there are parts of your body that your mind cannot inhabit, you may need to go through the beginning parts of God's, looking at those practices which help your mind to inhabit your body. Or as the Chinese put it, put your mind inside your body. Now, your intent in Chinese is called yi. But as you get further and further into God's, you have to consider that your yi is going into each step, one step at a time. Later on, when you get to what's called Sheen, heart-mind, where your heart and mind are together, you will be moving together. All of you will be connected. There is no part that disconnects. How do you have the 5 points in your body be stable? When that stability gets broken, that is simply letting you know that the chi somewhere in circulation throughout the inside of your body is not doing as well as it should. Go the other direction. Now, if you can focus at the 5 extremities, you don't have to put quite as much effort into how you're opening up everything in each of the extremities. One simple thing is that it's getting to all 5 extremities with an equal, constant strength. And you know everything is doing what it should be doing. And if it isn't, you have to go back and look at all the little internal mechanisms that are creating God's plane in the clouds. Now, besides having your energy inside your lower dantian, start getting the lower dantian to spin. This will increase the amount of power that's going to your 5 extremities. It's going to activate your entire etheric field, above, below, front, back, and sides. Going to increase your sensitivity to recognizing what's going on. Now go to movement 4. And don't let go of the spinning of your dantian. And don't let go of the constant awareness of your 5 points. At this moment, it's enough that you're just doing this with your physical and chi bodies. Later on, when you're working with your emotional, mental, psychic, karmic, and essence bodies, there are very specific things you want to be doing. But for right now, your mind focus is that your physicality is getting everything it needs. Remember, you want everything that you're supposed to be doing in God's active. And you've actually absorbed what a basic chi practice is. You don't really have to think about it. A light bit of attention on it will activate and continue it. Enabling the chi to go to your five extremities. That's the major thing that tells you if you're on the right track. Now go to movement 5. And remember that if the energy is going up and down your central channel in this and the next movement, in combination with your left and right channel, all of this needs to be happening inside you to get complete evenness at your five extremities. Bending and bowing the spine. And bending and stretching appropriately. Are you getting the chi beyond the yin and yang surfaces? Is my lower dantian constantly active? When you're bringing your energy upwards, are you somehow experiencing even a little bit what your lower dantian, your middle dantian, and the upper dantian actually are? Go to movement 6. Now, some people find that moving energy up the central channel is easier than moving it down, while others are quite opposite. You can remember what it was like moving energy up your central channel. Is it moving it down your central channel the same, more difficult, or easier? What you really want is smoothness. And remember, you're still aware of your 5 extremities. Make your transition smooth when your hands are going from your lower dantian to the sides and then up. And one of the things you may feel as your hands are moving through your etheric body is that your etheric body can have a sense of weight or solidity. Just begin to notice this solidity. Because when it gets to be a certain way, it can activate the channels in your body very evenly. There's also a good technique of feeling the energy in the air. Swimming in the air is one phrase used to describe this. It's really talking about having your hands be aware of moving energy in your etheric body. Now, on your next circle, bring your hands to your sides and just stand. And as you stand, make sure that the stability of your fingers, bubbling well points, and the crown of your head are still there. And being there, feel the energy of the central channel descending from the space above your head. It goes from the crown through the center of your body, and then through the bone marrow, all the way down to your toes. And then it comes up on the sides of your body. And have the energy go through the bone matrix, all the way up the legs, through the pelvis, and right all the way up the vertebra of your neck to the crown of your head and above it. Really fix that sense of your left and right channels above your head. And beyond your fingertips. Where you have gone through the bones of your hand. You have all these points stable. The central and left and right channels will activate. Having the lower dantian stable and the five extremities stable, start to create a space in the lower dantian. Which continues all the way up above your head and all the way down to your perineum. As well as a spiral that's going around the bone matrix and above the crown of your head and down to beyond your feet. Now, with both of these operating simultaneously, start just to make a neck roll. And then start to make a spine roll, beginning movement 7. Remember, we're not trying to lean forward with the torso. What we're doing is having the rolling of the neck activate and increase the spins in the left and right channels of your body. And this happens along the bone matrix. It will get all the channels inside your left and right channels activated. If you get it to go through the central channel, it will get everything that's in your bone marrow and the core of your torso activated. And when this happens, you ideally are doing 10 circles in one direction and then 10 circles in the other. But change directions. But what this is doing is evening and coordinating everything inside you and activating the spiraling pathways inside your body. The chi inside your body moves in spirals, not in straight line. Even when you have a circuit that goes around a circle, like the Dai Mai between the Dantian and Ningguang. The way it travels along the Dai Mai circuit is its spirals. When you're first doing this, you want to make the spirals big. And eventually, they're going to end up being thin as a hair. And the smaller they are, the more power they generate inside of you. And on your next circle, Pause and relax. Whenever you're ready, you can sit down. So how was that? What could you feel?
I felt 4 was very strong, stronger than I think I'd ever felt it before, which is interesting. But while 7 is still a little, it was helpful to, yeah, you're reading. Yeah, I mean, I think I felt a lot of energy.
Mhm. Good.
I felt, I feel like obviously this is building on everything, right? And so, I've been really working on the 5 points and on the breathing.
So how even were your 5 points?
Well, that was interesting because I felt like there were times when I think, oh, I don't have any blockages, and then suddenly I'm like, oh, my right arm is not the same as and then I felt kind of where that was, what that might have been.
Mhm.
So that was, I don't recall really ever thinking about them in that way
Yeah.
before. So I did notice that was helpful actually. And sometimes I'm not clear. I'm recognizing the blockages, so I know they're there.
Yep. Bill and Carol?
The fingertips, I'm kind of, they're always a little tingly. So
Mhm.
there's that one, I don't have to pay any attention to.
Right.
It's
You
just
got
there.
that?
The feet, I have to consciously put my
Mhm.
consciousness there.
Mhm, mhm.
And the head also. I found 4 very powerful,
Mhm,
but also 5 and 6.
mhm.
That 5 really
Going up, yeah.
going up, and the 6 coming down.
Mhm.
That was quite felt that. Going,
Mhm,
anyway.
mhm.
In 2 and 3, my back and shoulder were hurting,
Mm.
so that was distracting,
Yes.
but, um. Um. But that released in 5, in 4, 5, and 6.
And is that, I was thinking of that too, the release, like at times I was like, ooh, ouch. And then I tend to tighten up and instead I just try to really breathe into it and to relax it.
Mm.
So when the C curve felt tense, it's like, no, relax it. And then that also addresses that
Yeah,
pain.
when
Yeah.
it's in 2 and 3, I can't focus on that to relax it because that distracts from everything else I'm doing.
Mhm.
So I'd rather be doing the, awareness of the dantian and the 5 extremities and okay, yes, this is uncomfortable, it'll stop.
But
But maybe I'm wondering if for you, you should make the movement smaller.
Maybe,
Would that help the shoulder?
Mm,
yeah, I don't know.
I would play with that
Yeah.
because the pain just gets in the way.
Yeah,
So, so if you can let yourself make the movements a little bit smaller, that might be helpful.
yeah, I'm not sure what it is about those movements that does that, so.
Yeah.
And
Of 2
5,
and
5 and
3.
6 are not small movements, but
Mhm.
the energy's in here, not out there.
Mhm.
Well, it is. It comes in.
Yeah.
And and the pain isn't there. for
Cool.
those.
It's interesting. It
Yeah.
goes,
So
yeah.
when you were talking about swimming,
Mhm.
in
Yes.
6 especially, there was this, and it wasn't solid, but it was jello.
Cool. I like it.
Very jello.
Swimming in Jello.
Swimming in jello.
Gathering that jello in or something.
Yeah.
Good. Anything for you, Bill?
Yeah, when we started and when we're doing just the standing part and the breathing, reverse breathing and getting that was working really well. And I found, and I then in the movement with the 5 extremities, my hands are and feeling of energy in my hands is a distant first place, leaving the other 3 behind. And I'd say my legs are in second place, but maybe half of the way behind. And for some reason today, my head was in last place, the byway point. But I was thinking I've been doing the swings sometime, and that's when we're doing the swings and think about uh, a thread extending up from your head and having everything go around that point. I really am in touch with the head extension and the head with the energy and the etheric body above the head. And so it's interesting to play with. And the more movement, as we were doing the movement, it was harder to keep that focus on the lower dantian and sort of pumping, keeping the energy going back and forth. The movement sort of messed up my mind a little bit thinking about the details of the movement and keeping
Mm.
the energy flow in and out of the dantian.
Yeah.
And I've got to think a lot more about spinning dantians and connecting it on up through the middle and upper dantian. So uh, that's that was kind of nice to hear, but a muddle in my body. So But overall, I think it was a great thing to do.
I think it's, it's really important to ultimately get these 5 points to be felt equally. And one of the things that certainly affects that is your posture, your structure, and any tension that develops. So being aware that some part of your body isn't as experiencing the fullness of the energy as other parts are, you might play with that. What's too tight? What's not aligned properly? I find my tendency to let my head drop forward a little bit tends to interrupt the flow of the energy to the crown of the head. And when I get it up straight, oh, son of a gun, there it is.
I did notice in 7, did you feel like we were lower? What was it that you said? Yeah, don't
Don't
dip
bend forward.
don't go forward. We were like, I don't know. I had my eyes closed. That was kind of the only way I could do that. But I did adjust, and I felt, that
it seemed to me that you all were doing 7 better.
I felt like I was, even though I'm still a little.
The movement was smaller. Everything was moving. I didn't feel like the head got locked with the body.
Yeah.
It's the problem, of course, is that we feel like, oh, it needs to be bigger, and that's one reason I think why the note is in there that, in the beginning it's a big movement, but eventually it's very small.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think the fact that there was such focus on the Dantian come to 7, and you're not needing to, not looking at the physicality of it, you're really looking at the engine of it there. Yeah.
Good. Well, this will give you something to play with.
Although I don't, did we record?
Yes, we
Oh, good. Because I was like, where's the recording? It's like, oh, this will be great. And then I was like, oh my God, I won't see it.
I did start the.
But then I don't see anything, so other than the black frame. So
oh,
it's just that. It's
just
that's fine.
Yeah. I did very carefully make sure I was recording
Thank
today. Good. Okay.
Good.
Well, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Take care, Bill.
We'll see you.
See ya.
Now we need our coffee, Carol.
That could be.
Wow. Yeah.
You need what Mango is doing.
Oh, I know. Look at that. Oh, my cat just hang around doing that all day. Oh my God. I had one of those like lapses in the middle of the day where, oh my God, I'm exhausted. For a second last night, I thought, I hope I didn't get bit by a tick. I was just like that. Oh, and it may be just I'm going too much, just too much, and too much going on.
Yeah.
Things that are just knock you out. But look at that baby, huh? Look at that.
Yeah. She's got the idea.
And then every so often you think they're really out and they just open that eye,
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm paying
Or at least her
attention.
twitches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm paying
Yeah,
attention.
the ears going like.
What are they talking about?
That's right.
Well,
We had we had many encounters with fowl on the way. Carol, you were all of a
Really?
sudden, where were we when the ducks came out? A mama duck and like 6 babies just like across
wow.
the street.
Across the street. Well, there's a house with a
Little pondish,
pond.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
It looks like a man-made pond.
Yes, it does, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's
I think
where
that's,
the ducks were headed.
but luckily both cars, Carol and the other car, just kind of, they just dart out. You don't see them
Yeah.
Oh, they're
coming.
just walking.
They just bum, 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 bum. And then the turkeys up here, yeah.
Yeah,
Lots of
the
turkeys.
turkeys have just appeared up here
It's-
the last few days.
You mean this year or you
Yeah,
kind
this
of
year.
normally
Oh, no,
this
oh,
year?
no.
It's that,
Oh, that horse farm is often got turkeys.
Oh, yeah,
I
no
think
doubt.
people were
But I meant
shooting.
up here
Oh, up
at
here
our
at this
house.
house.
At your
Oh,
house.
yeah.
We didn't see them at your house.
no, we don't them at our, we see them at Volantown a lot. And interestingly, because we go to Plymouth for a week in the summer. They're in Plymouth, turkeys in Plymouth, hello. They're all over the Montana State Forest.
Downtown Falmouth. In front of the
Downtown
library-
Falmouth.
In front of the library, there were turkeys there. a couple
Oh
years
my
ago.
Oh, for
goodness, oh,
sakes.
that's funny. Wow.
And, my niece and cousin live in Brighton,
Wow,
and they have turkeys in their yard.
Brighton.
Oh, well. We're
And my
turkeys.
daughter had a peahen on her roof, but in British Columbia, but. You know, obviously, you should call it a feral, somebody had a pet and it either got loose or. It's been
Loose for a while.
Wow.
I should go out and get my checkbook before I forget. Did you say your car was,
Yeah, just carry the purse out with you.
and
when
it'll
you get
open it
close-
automatically?
When you get close to it, touch the either the driver's door or the passenger door. And it will,
Magic.
it will double click.
I know ours is like that too, and I have trouble deciding what works here.
It just has to be, yeah, sometimes. It doesn't work as right away as I want it to.
What we've had trouble with is our trunk lid. Sometimes it seems to open whenever we want it to open, and then other times it won't open. And we're not quite sure why sometimes. Weird.
Yeah, so far mine works. As long as I have my key nearby.
Yeah,
And it's nice that I don't have to unlock the whole car to do the trunk.
yeah,
I can just walk up to it and open it, whether, and the rest of the car stays locked.
yep.
My sister just got a new Subaru
Oh, did she? Good.
and she's got the kick thing to open the back, the rear
Oh,
door.
really?
And just to move her foot somewhere behind the car and
it opens?
hands-free open, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We don't have that.
We don't have that in my Hyundai. If we do, I don't know how to do it. I haven't tried it and it doesn't seem to work.
There's so much computer stuff that it's
Yeah, she
will take us
just,
years to learn it.
yeah, she just got it and she doesn't know how to do it. Lots of stuff. Did that work? Oh, yes.
Yeah, it
must have.
did.
Must have, you got your purse.
It's like magic. There's someone who still doesn't even have a car right now.
Yes, you did. So I thought we should begin to look at the beginning of the third paragraph.
Good idea. I promised myself I was gonna do that in the last 2 weeks, and alas.
Alas.
This like, what am I gonna focus on? So instead I focused on God. I'm gonna get back. Anyway, but
So,
yeah, I haven't done that in a long time. I will just be honest. No sense not being honest.
Obvious.
Huh? It's obvious. I'm sure it'll be obvious. This morning I was thinking, oh no, I'm gonna have time to do it, and lost glasses.
well,
Such
I
things got
really
away.
meant just right at the beginning, just go up through Wild Horse crosses its Maine. So why don't you just
See if we can remember that. No,
Start-
Carol.
start from the push at the
Yeah,
end of
At the end of six.
two.
Yeah, I got it.
First part of it is a repeat of what you
But
did.
not exactly.
Not exactly, that's right. Don't try to fool us, David.
Well, the very up through.
Up to the first two or three.
Wild horse it is, or not wild horse, to the corner, the beginning of
The very
that.
beginning is a sentence.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Too soon,
Did you
too
do
soon.
Breastfeed Sparrow's tail?
Yep. Sparrow's tail.
I didn't
Oh,
see
I mean,
that.
I don't-
And then don't we go back, don't we go into,
And no, I was stopping,
I understand, but then, yeah,
yeah.
the
and then you
side,
go
to the
single whip
side.
Single whip to the front, yeah.
and single whip to the front, right, yeah. I go back into my head here. What single whip? No, we're both.
Yeah.
We're
Well-
missing things. No, single whip to the front, but then, go ahead, okay. It's not coming back to me. I know where I'm trying to get, I'm missing 2 steps to get there. Does that help any? Don't look, David, I'll get over there in a second.
Okay.
No, no kidding. All right,
So,
Yeah, you're right, I skipped.
right, but then there's, yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
so,
help us. Help.
after you've gotten to here,
Yep,
you're in,
oh. Right, go ahead, no, sorry.
so you've got a following focus and a play peepaw,
Oh, the play paper is to the corner still. Okay.
still in the corner. And then a grasping sparrow's tail,
Ah,
all 4 of those. And then single whip.
then single whip to the side.
No, single whip to the front.
Really?
The left foot should be facing to the front. And then when you go into down and under, this is the one place where down and under starts by turning right. So you shift forward and turn right. That gives you the turn to get up going left. And then you turn step corner and
Ah,
boom. To the side, boom.
so. I didn't remember that being so. So we're not to the front, but we're
No,
to,
Yeah, all the rest of them are true.
all the
yes.
rest are
Almost all the rest, right, there's a couple, right,
Are
separate.
facing forward slightly
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the left
uh-huh,
and slightly turned left. But this one is left foot to the front. This is like
yeah,
when you do it to the side. You're doing it to the
yes,
front
yeah,
here.
but,
And then you should have a shift forward, turn right, turn back to the left to do down and under. And then turn and sink and step. And open the spine. Don't push with the hands.
Scapular working.
Scapula working, scapula working.
So let's get, yeah, from here to here. I think that was money
From-
anyway. So
From-
everything, right, so we're, okay, we're here, we do all, but everything is to this corner.
Yep. And then in
And then-
your,
yeah, at
your
the,
forward-
uh-huh,
and you're going to turn and step back,
okay,
turn that
Ah.
right foot on the heel. Come back onto the right foot
place.
and
the
place the
left,
left,
and then
rotate and
over.
shift forward.
Mhm.
Shift, boom.
And then to do that, I forget this part, to do down and under,
Yeah,
this foot moves back a little and then up,
yeah. And the
right?
reason for that is that if you're here and you try to do down and
You
forward,
fall.
I mean, just turning to the left,
You can't,
you haven't got any, you
Yeah.
don't have enough
yeah,
turn.
I gotcha,
So that, I'm sure is why
yeah,
this one
No,
got
and it
changed
just-
slightly.
adds the, yeah,
Yeah.
circular,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
So was kind of, I'm sorry, other questions in there? Kind of in the terms of the basic movement?
no, maybe after I try to do it one more time.
Well, we will,
But yes, I know, I can see we're going there.
okay. Just a reminder that in every posture, there is a bending and twisting in and an extending and twisting out. So you have to find that in every posture. I noticed that the reason I'm bringing that up is I noticed that in the very first posture, when I'm facing this way instead of the side, but
Yeah.
here, you went around and the hands
Mm.
froze
Mhm.
until you got ready to go into the rest of the movement. But it's true with every posture.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Nothing is still.
I'm sure that at that point, my brain was working overtime trying to figure,
Yeah,
do I go to the side or do I do this? It's like, oh my God. And so, that's where you realize, oh, it's not as ingrained in you as you think, because you should be able to think a little bit and just like you're moving.
Ideal.
your leg. Ideally,
Yeah.
you go with your legs, you should be able to do
Okay.
it. I got it.
So why don't you try it again?
Yeah.
Just that much. I mean,
No,
it's,
we don't get that part, there's no point in going forward.
yeah.
What was that?
I
Yes.
said, I
Oh,
learned that
boy.
at Sand Show. We did go forward, but it was.
Right.
They flow, it's a flow. If you're gonna break, you can't flow.
That little meltdown that first time.
Well, everybody melts down the first time. Questions?
Observations. I was trying to remember putting it all together. Yeah, don't use your hands, it's your. Yeah. Your spine, it's your. Scapula. Yeah, I felt like everything was there. It needs practice, but it's there.
Yeah, that was much better than.
Yeah, well. Yes.
Go.
No, yeah, we're not gonna remember that, yeah.
Yeah, I think that, just practicing and getting that so that it's smooth and then
Yeah, remember all the
bringing
points.
the other elements into it.
Yeah, right.
Um, but I'm gonna I'm gonna do some work in Gods on lengthening. Which we've talked about, but we haven't really addressed it before. But that's really important here too.
Yep.
And because we tend to get very, very into the movement
Right.
rather than recognizing, and that's part of what Carol was mentioning in here, that you're releasing
Yes.
into that. It's all,
Yeah,
you're letting that extend out.
I remember Shelley and Jeff and I going over that, you going over that with us.
over
Yeah.
Many times.
It's
but
so,
it is that, the class, it's like riding a bike. Then it was like, oh, I remember that, yes, boom.
Yeah.
And then it kind of all came back, right? Like, yeah.
it's so easy to fall into the hands
Right. And then,
instead.
but we know by now that doesn't feel
Yeah,
right.
you know that.
We know it doesn't feel right. We don't always know what is right.
Yeah.
It's like, well, but my hands are supposed to be out there. How do they get there? Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's the one posture where I'm really aware of my scapula.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
And that's-
there it is, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's
That's right.
great when you get that, because then you can take that into
Yes.
other
Every
postures.
posture,
Once you get in, yeah. No, that's very true.
Um,
That's very true.
So
Good.
that seems probably
got to-
enough along with everything else.
Yes.
I do have one question.
Oh, go ahead.
You were talking about your tendency to bend your head forward, and so
Yes.
you have to straighten your head back. How does that work with the crane's neck?
So you have to start from a straight head back, and then crane's neck is the big piece in crane's neck, or the important piece, not the big piece, is that there has to be an extension into the bend. It's not just bend forward, because that doesn't work. If you can actually, if you really listen to my voice, the slightest bend begins to affect my voice. So I have just interrupted the flow of the energy through my neck. If instead I extend and go forward, it doesn't affect my voice. It keeps everything open. So that's the key.
I think of it as the extend is a lift, but it's a.
Yeah, it's
It
light.
is a lot. It's a very light lift as opposed to a.
It's not
going
a
front.
stretch. It's not.
Right, exactly. No, right, but but just I can't, I have the image of the spine.
Mhm.
That's what really helps me kind
Absolutely.
of think of it that way, as the crane, that
it's really-
it's not this, it's kind of just that.
It is actually lengthening.
Yes, it is actually lengthening. Ooh, here we go.
Preload.
You right, Carol, right into it. You were the segue. Yeah, but no, that's good, helpful.
Good.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Thank you
you.
very much. Good
All
class.
right.
Good class.
Good, very good class. Good class. And I mean, it's one of those lessons where I think we both came tired, but I feel
Yeah.
very energized now.
Oh, good. I'm sorry if the house cleaning just,
Oh, at some point I just stopped hearing it, so
oh, yeah.
it's like, can you come to my house next? Okay, all right.
What did you ever do?
What?
House cleaner, what?
They're cleaning the whole house. We only have them once a month.
Yeah.
And Jane is such a cleaner herself that
Oh, yeah, right, I was gonna
it's not a
say.
whole, it's not a huge amount to do, but they really, and Jane wanted to have it cleaned before her sister was arriving tomorrow for a visit, so she wanted to have it.
Oh, yeah, it's nothing like having company to make sure.
Oh, God, thank God I have company. Sometimes it's like, meh.
Yeah,
That's, yeah, it's early March before Sarah Jane arrives, like February on.
Everything gets cleaned up.
yeah.
What's today? Fourth, third? Good Lord. Lost track. Fourth, it doesn't really matter.
Sunday was the first.
So I may
Fourth.
not be here next week. I feel bad because I wasn't here last, but a good friend of mine is being honored in Brooklyn for her organizing work, and I'm going to surprise her at this event. Another friend has offered, it's like a fundraiser, they're $175 tickets, so I would not be going. Except a good friend gave like $500 and got 3 tickets, and there's a group of us that go to this baseball game every year in honor of our friend Ralph DiGio, who was a World War II resistor, who was a big Mets fan. So we continue to do that year after year, and that group has kind of grown, and she's brought into it, although she knew Ralph years ago. So yeah, he's like, he's a longtime activist and a big Mets fan, and has a little extra money. So, but it goes till 10 o'clock at night. There's no way I'm going to be here at 9 o'clock the next morning. I will stay in Brooklyn. I called another friend and I'm like, Patty, you all going? So I think I'm going to surprise her.
Oh,
Which would
good.
be kind of-
That sounds
She will
like.
never expect me to show up at $175 plate dinner. Let me just tell you that.
No.
Nope.
Uh,
But anyhow, so it'll be fun. So
how nice that you could do
I
that.
know,
though.
it's
That's
wonderful.
great.
I didn't even know she was getting this. She's just kind of not been, but she is the honoree. At first I thought, oh, it's nice they're honoring people. It's like, no, they're honoring her. That's impressive. 240, right? For the
Yeah.
2 classes. Yeah, so I will do that. So I'm sorry, I know it's Wednesdays, it keeps being Wednesdays, but I think for a while after that, I'm okay.
Good.
Into the 2 weeks I have to be away this summer. I'm doing some training, and then I'll be on a week vacation. You going to Falmouth, or you go down for what?
I can't leave John,
Oh, and he can't go.
and he can't go.
Oh, it's too bad.
Oh, yeah.
He spent all day yesterday in bed, so the last 2 days actually. So
Oh, that's a shame. Sorry.
The kids all go?
well,
Well, Sarah Jane doesn't. do
Sarah
that.
Jane doesn't, because they only. Her husband's family has a cottage on an island in the Lake of the Woods. And
Where's that?
where Ontario and Minnesota meet. There's
Oh,
this
yeah,
big-
yeah, yeah,
This big
uh-huh.
lake here,
Yeah.
and their family has a cottage on the island, so they go up there in the summer.
Right,
Hmm.
okay, and then you're the spring trip.
And
so-
when we're on the spring vacation, and they take an extra week at spring break, so that they have 2 weeks here.
Right, oh, nice.
Cool.
Thank
you.
New Hampshire kids, their vacations don't match, so they just take the week.
Well, that's good.
Because they really like being with their cousins, and they
Yeah.
never get, that's the only time they get to see them.
Right,
Oh.
that's, yeah, right.
But Hillary and her kids are going to the Cape in July.
Uh-huh, oh, nice.
Oh, good.
We're renting out the bigger house,
Ah, so that becomes an income,
so that's an income, so it pays for
the rest of it.
pays for the taxes on both houses and the upkeep on both houses. and so-
Nice,
Cool.
nice.
That's good.
Yeah, when you get down, I have cousins in East Falmouth. When you get down there, I need to reconnect, so. I mean, we're kind of in touch, but not like physically, that's kind of not the same.
So, summer is not great because both houses are pretty much full, but I mean, we have this house and we have the family
Wow.
rate,
And you have the what?
family rate, and And the bigger house is heated all winter.
It's all winter. Oh, wow, that's good to know.
So.
Because we
if you
lost
wanna go
our,
to the Cape for a week.
ah, okay.
Let me know, we'll set it up.
Do people use it very much in the winter?
But not very much.
But so it's, oh, that'd be great. I mean,
Columbus Day there.
yeah, oh yeah, the big holidays.
The
Yeah,
big-
and I don't want to go to the bridge on the
and-
big holidays anyway. I'm like, oh, I hate that bridge. I grew up with those bridges, you know, I'm not gonna build one of them. Because we used to go to Katuitt, and then our friend Craig gave his house to the Native Land Conservancy, which is wonderful. They're using it for an internship program. You know, it's on almost an acre of land adjacent to another preserve, so it's been great for them, but it was like I lost my because it was kind of like we worked kind of as a collective, so it was pretty affordable, and we did a lot of work every time we were there and go down other times. So, but now it's gone, and I just haven't done the Cape since because can't afford just regular rental fees. And that's like I was going to visit my cousin, and then the one time I was going to go, she had all the kids in, so you know, wasn't any space. So anyway, yeah.
There's something wonderful about the Cape in the winter, though.
The winter, and I am. We actually, even when Craig was there, we never. Patrick and Frida did a week there in the summer, except for like I think a wedding once and once going down. Patrick and Frida invited us for a day. We would go. It is even as early as March. I brought my friend Linda down several times in March. And then Rick and I would go in October, November, October. Annie would go in February. They take February vacation and they loved it. Yeah.
I went down once when I was going through a lot in my life, and I needed a
You need a break.
I needed a week of meditation.
Yes,
is what I
yes.
needed.
And the Cape is beautiful for
And
that
I
in the
went to
winter, isn't it?
I went down, and it was just fabulous. I walked on the beach even in the cold.
Yep,
It was
yep.
beautiful.
Yeah, we'd be on the beach no matter what.
Yeah.
And Falmouth is like when we were kids, we went to Old Silver Beach.
Good, well, that's so did we.
Maybe we played together, careless.
Don't you
I'll have to
remember?
tell you that whole story in the car. That's funny. That's funny. From Brockton, yeah, I mean, we were in Brockton. It was an easy trip. But a couple of times my parents rented a cottage in Falmouth. But then my Brockton cousins, one of the families moved down, and then the others moved down, and then the kid bought a house, and so there's this grouping of them, you know, at least 3 houses in different, kind of pretty near each other, but that they're there. So their cousins, I grew some of them.
Yeah, our road, if you go from Old Silver Beach towards Falmouth, there are 3 roads on the right, and ours is third.
Yeah, I think that Patrick told me that once, right? Because he had been there. Yeah, so I'll have to. Oh, good. Well, nice connection to make at the end.
Yeah, that's
of
right.
this, and now you-
They were down in Katuitt at the same time, so everything
Yes,
was there.
yes, that I remember Patrick saying that. Yeah, yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Well, have a great week, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you.
Two, if we don't see you.
Yeah, or 2. Yeah, yeah. I think it's just. I think it's. Gonna be that way.
I'll see you tomorrow.
You'll see me tomorrow on Zoom.
Okay.
I will definitely be there on. Yeah. On Zoom.
Who's in that group now?
Linda Hines, Bill Otfanowski, and Carol Cloud.
Although he hasn't, did he make last week? He hadn't been in the 2 before that, I don't think. He'd been only in 1 of the 4 I've gone to now.
He's been looking at the videos
Okay.
and trying to keep up with us, but his health he's been going through a really tough patch with his health. I talked to him yesterday, as a matter of fact. He's shortly, I don't know, I think it's a couple of weeks away, but he's going into the hospital for 3 days to get a new medication started that may help.
Yeah. The older you get, the
Yeah.
harder that is just kind of I mean, I'm going to the doctor, to the nurse every other week because they cannot adjust my blood pressure medication.
Oh, wow.
And this has been going on for several months now. I mean, I just felt something wrong in January, you know?
Yeah.
Is it the Trump factor? I don't know. But I could feel it, like they say, oh, you can't talk your blood pressure. No, I could feel it, there's something wrong. So I went and, yeah, I started taking, Rick got a new blood pressure, a good cup, and yeah, it was like
Yeah.
really high. I mean, we were running in at 168 after.
And have you had it calibrated at your doctor's office?
I went to the doctor's office one day, we took it,
Well-
so we took that one 3 times, we took hers, kind of did it all, and it was too high, mine was a bit high, but the blood pressure is still like, whoa, so we just kind of, and then the other day, I was there on Monday, I guess, and she added a new thing, so, because then you're like, and then my ankles really swelled when I was in Washington, I was walking a lot more, when you're in the city, you're out,
Yeah.
Which you think would be good.
which I think would be good. And then she's like, oh, well, I'll have you back in 2 weeks. Maybe the swelling will go down. It's like, but I don't want to stop walking or being in the
No.
garden all day. That's kind of the whole, I was in the garden the
That's
whole day.
point.
I got to get rid of this weight and I only can do it when I move, like I
Right.
can't not move. Ay,
Well-
aging bodies,
I have to say my pacemaker has worked very well.
Excellent.
And I have a number of friends going through knee replacements.
I don't highly recommend that.
I mean, I have bad knees and I have arthritis in both of them, but I saw my friend Mickey, who I hadn't seen in a long time, in Washington, and she had it in January and she's still walking like this. And I'm like, oh my God. And my friend Marita's coming back from South Africa and she has had both knees done. One of them had to be redone within 6 months. And now that was 20 years ago. She has to do it again. And I'm like,
My
oh
sister-
my
I have a
God.
friend who had her knees done in her 60s. Well, she's 92 and walks all over the place.
Hmm.
Which she couldn't really do
Which she
before.
couldn't do.
I am not in a lot of pain. Mickey
Yeah.
said she was just constantly in pain. Like I'm not in pain now.
Yeah.
I did take 2 ibuprofen in the car before I came in.
Well,
I don't take a lot of it, and I usually, if I do, I don't take more than 2 a day, to kind of help get going.
I have had the one done,
Yeah.
and it's never been
Same.
entirely right.
But
But you felt like the hips were well worth.
Hip was really good. I just had one hip done.
Okay, I remember when I remember when you did that.
Yeah.
But the knee, you never, I've
on the
heard.
other hand, if you hadn't had it done, it probably would be in constant pain.
I was gonna say the pain is better.
Yeah.
But you still
I
have
don't
pain.
have pain. I don't really have
You don't
pain.
really have pain.
I
And was that
have-
arthritis,
I
or
have-
you had fallen on it, or wrecked it, or
No.
Just
it was-
fell off horses? I don't know.
It was a bad, I'm sure it started because I bashed it several times when I worked on the ranch
Yeah.
and in the rodeo. When you come out, if you get on the animal and they turn in the chute and it turns around so the head faces the gate,
Uh-huh,
as soon as they see this much space, they
Yeah.
go and your legs get,
not ready yet.
no,
Ooh.
not enough space for the legs.
So it gets bad.
And one time I got a really bad bang. We were moving a bunch of cattle out of the captain's trying to run away and I went after it. And my horse was a relatively good cutting horse and he decided to go between 2 trees that weren't quite large enough.
For him, but not for him.
For him, but not for me.
Well, so yeah, I mean, modern medicine does help. All right.
Don't lock the door today.
Did we lock it last time?
I think so, but Jane's gonna come back.
Yeah, I don't even pay attention.
Thanks, ladies.
All right.